Our next guest is Nathan Brakowski. He is going to read a poem for us. Nathan is doing this out of a lot of gratitude. His dad, his grandfather, and his uncles all served. Nathan?
On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And although we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
The next person who is going to say a few words is Craig Loth, a veteran who is very supportive of veterans in our town.
Thank you, Evelyn. My name is Craig Loth, as Evelyn said. I'm a relatively newcomer to Byfield. I've only been here 56 years, so I'm a newbie. I'm also past commander of the Kingston Memorial VFW Post 1088. Now, as Evelyn mentioned, this used to be called Armistice Day, and it was the end of World War I. It was supposed to be the end of all wars, but obviously it wasn't. Back during World War II, Byfield was a very small parish. I think Fred mentioned that back then there were maybe 1,000 residents. So everybody on this memorial was part of the greatest generation. The men and women joined the service, and every resident in this town knew them. So they joined the Army, the Navy, Coast Guard, and Army Air Force. Wallace Pearson was in the Army Air Force. So it was a very close-knit society, town, and as Evelyn mentioned, not everybody returned. I think Fred had a relative. I think there's several people that were buried overseas, and of course a lot of people now are buried in the South Byfield Cemetery. And I believe we have one resident still living, and that would be Dick Johnson, who's on this. I'm going to try to read this. My eyesight's gone to hell in a handbasket, but if I can read the short paragraph. sentence. I think it's appropriate. Men and women returning from all quarters of the globe stand before our altars of comradeship, pledging loyalty to the nation and to one another. And I think that's very appropriate. So happy Veterans Day to all.
Fred Davis would like to read the names of the men who did not return. He's going to have to read them off the stone because I don't have them written down.
Well, I just wanted to give a little brief history of this memorial. It was placed by the selectmen in 1952 up at the parish church in Byfield. So, as Evelyn said, it had to be moved because of different reasons, but I kind of can't see, I can see the name. But I just want to acknowledge the 7 people that are buried overseas, to let them know they have a final resting place in Byfield. George Bulgaris, Charles Harlow, David Johnston, Clifford Kent, Robert Rock, Morris Rogers. The last one was buried in Italy in February 4th of 1944 was my uncle, Orrin Wood. I just want to acknowledge that. Thanks.
Thank you, Fred. I'd like to ask our veteran liaison, Mike Doyle, and our selectman of Newbury, if he'd come forward.
Thank you. Evelyn stole my speech, first of all. But so I'm going to keep it, Leslie, instead of the big magnifying glass, Leslie rated big font for me. But first of all, I'm honored as a Newbury selectman and as your representative to welcome to Veterans Day. Okay? This site was done by community. Okay? Today's not about the veterans that died, but it's also in World War II, but all the veterans. Okay? And it's about the sacrifice that everyone, and it wasn't the sacrifice just to those, but the families. I mean, in all the wars, the families sacrificed greatly. Their bravery, their honor, their covered their service. We stand here today on this Veterans Day, and I want to say thank you for your service, and God bless America. Thank you, guys.
Actually, I just want to take a moment to, there's so many people here that are so helpful all through the year. Veteran Billy Went, he does the flags Craig Bernie Fields, he organizes the Memorial Day Parade. All around us we're surrounded by volunteers who really care for the veterans and do a lot in the town. It goes unnoticed, and that's probably how they like it, but I just wanted to acknowledge them and all the people that I'm forgetting. This is all I have. Is there anyone that would like to come forward and say something at this point?
I'd like to certainly thank Evelyn for doing this year after year. This and Maurice Cross and also at the cemetery. Without her, we wouldn't have this program. So thank you.
With Fred and we've got John Reagan here, we've got Louise, we've got Nancy. Those people are all part of the group that put this together. And if there isn't anything else, I'd like to invite John to come forward and do taps for us. On closing, 11 o'clock is observed or asked to be observed for a moment of silence. So wherever you are today at 11 o'clock, just be thinking about our servicemen and servicemen past and present. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Good job.